Hi, kiddos. Okay, so I have a big question for you. And you may think that it's not related to Reader's Workshop, but of course it always is. So here's the question. What is your most favorite movie ever? Think to yourself. What's your most favorite movie ever? You have it in your brain? All right, now, readers, I have another question. How do you think that movie was made? What was the first thing that they had to do to make that movie? So think in your brain. What's your favorite movie? And what was the first thing they had to do to make the movie? Some of you are saying that first they had to get a video camera maybe. But actually, the first thing that's needed to make a movie is that an author has to write a book. You have to write a script. Then you can get the actors to read the book over and over and over lots of times so that they know the story by heart. And then each actor pretends to be one character in the story. But first they have to get a book that they read and read and read. It's kind of like when we first read Three Billy Goats Gruff, and then we read it so many times that you guys knew it. And then when we add character voices, you guys made the characters come to life. The same thing. So, I've been thinking that kids in this class might want to turn some of their favorite stories into movies or plays. I thought that would be fun. That would mean that during your reading play dates, like when you're reading with all your characters and your mom and your dad and your brother and sister, that you could become an actor. So you could pretend to be Biscuit or Mrs. Wishy-Washy or the Very Hungry Caterpillar or whoever's in your book. And if you do that, it will make you into a much better reader. And here is why. Today, I want to teach you that really good readers act out the story in their minds every time they read. If the page says, the biggest billy goat trip-trapped across the bridge, then avid readers jump up and trip-trap themselves in their mind or with their body. Reading is a lot like pretending. It's a lot like going to the movies. So readers, here's the thing. There are many reading skills that you haven't practiced at all that much during reading workshop. And one of them is the skill of pretending you are the characters in the story. We've talked about character voices, but maybe now we're going to talk about character faces. How would the what would the face look like? I remember yesterday in our Zoom meeting, Busy said that the boy in Not Norman was angry because he made an angry face, and she made an angry face as she did it. So when you're reading stories, you can do that too, just like Busy was doing. Make the facial expressions. If the billy goat is trip-trapping, then you trip-trap. Make a movie in your mind, and then you can act it out. Bring your stories to life. Okay, here we go. So let's think of how we can do that. So we are going to use those skills. So looking back at our story, Not Norman. Okay, I'm going to read a page. I'm going to read the first page again, and I'm not going to show you the picture, okay? When I got Norman, I did not want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. Okay, so now I want you to act that out. So if you were doing that, what would you be doing if you were the boy? Let's see. I think that I'm going to pretend that I'm holding a fishbowl because I think I remember that when I get birthday presents, I like to hold them. So this is his birthday present. So he's holding the fishbowl. And what's his facial expression like? He's probably angry, like Busy said. So I'm going to hold the fishbowl and I'm going to make an angry face. And that's probably what the boy's doing. He's saying, I don't want Norman. So do you see how I acted it out? All right, so we are going to look at this reading play dates anchor chart. So this is how you're going to act out your stories, okay? And I want everybody to act out your stories because it helps you remember. It does. We're going to call these reading play dates. So you can play school. I know that there are many friends with little siblings in our class. If your little siblings can sit and listen to your story, then that's a great thing to do. Play school. You be the teacher. You can read it aloud. Again, read it out loud to your brothers or sisters. You can share your reading. So if you read it, one of your brothers or sisters or mom and dad can read it so that you guys can make sure you're reading it the best you can. You can do reading play dates. So you can play a game. So you might want to pick one story and choose that one to be the story that you're going to act out. And then you can choose one for the other person. So you can have kind of like a little competition to see who can do it the very best. Always, you can snap word hunt. Look for those snap words. Always guess what's next. Remember, we want to make predictions just like we did yesterday in the Zoom meeting. We had to think to ourselves and make a prediction about what's going to happen next. Remember to use your sounds. You're going to hear what letter and make that sound. Remember to guess the feelings, just like we were reading in our story about waking Dad up. So we want to say how the people were feeling. You can play pretend, so you guys can act out the story and pretend like you are really the characters in this story. You can act it out. So I'm going to say that this is a baby and this person is walking up the stairs. So you can get up and act it out. And you can use whole body gestures. So again, if you are the goat and you are trip trapping, you might want to get up and trip trap. All right, friends. So readers, the important thing for you to know is that avid readers act out stories in their minds even when they aren't getting up and walking around or holding their arms out to carry imaginary fish bowls. So I'm going to reread the start of Not Norman, and this time I'm not actually going to act anything out, but try pretending in your mind. In your mind, be the boy looking at the pathetic pet and wishing you had a better one. All right, here we go. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. So close your eyes and now think in your brain. What does that look like? Think in your brain. So do you see, friends, I didn't have to act it out. I could imagine it in my brain, but sometimes it's easier to act it out. So you can choose. All right, friends, it's time for you to start reading. Have a fantastic time. Know that Miss Morgan misses you. Bye.